I'm saying your dream. So I want you to take a moment. I want you to close your eyes. Okay. I really want you to do this, please. So close your eyes and imagine yourself in your favorite place, whether it's in your own house or your favorite vacation area or somewhere you love to travel. But I want you to close your eyes and imagine yourself there. Hello, my name is Andrea Perry, and I'm so glad that you are here. So in this video, I'm going to share a little bit about my story, how I got to this part in my business. So I have a teaching background. It's something that I've always wanted to do, is be a teacher. So I have my bachelor's degree in middle childhood education, and that was my area. I loved middle childhood students. I love that age. And then I got into the classroom and I'm like, ooh, this is not what I was expecting. So I did all of that schooling and I was like, oh my gosh, then what am I supposed to do? Because seriously, since the beginning, that's what I wanted to do. So it took me a long time to figure out where I fit and where I felt right. And so after I left the classroom, I went into corporate. So that was just an opportunity at the time that was better than teaching in the classroom. It was more money. It was a better opportunity. It was a brand new company, so they were growing. So I just kind of weighed out my options and I said, do I want to be in a field where, it's not really where I belong? I don't feel like I put my heart into it. So I decided to go the corporate route. So I actually worked my way up to a general manager position. I ran my own store. Basically, a general manager was in charge of the store. The only thing that we did not have control of was the particular products that we bought. We couldn't say we can buy these products. That was literally the only thing a general manager didn't do. We did scheduling. I hired. We worried about food cost and profit, and all that stuff was something a general manager had to worry about and had to pay attention to. So I did that for 7 years. I was some form of management in those 7 years. And the reason that I left was because about 5 years in, I was a general manager at the time, and we found out we were pregnant. And I just knew that I couldn't have a store and then also have a baby, because they're both basically babies. The way the store worked was if someone called off and no one could come in, I had to come in. I was the last hope, essentially. So I knew that I couldn't have both. So I did whatever I could to try to figure out a way to still be around for our son, to make it so I didn't, miss him being on his stomach for the first time or rolling over or his first steps or anything like that. I didn't want to have a child to just work to pay for daycare. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not, I'm Josh and anybody who does that. It's just not something what I wanted for our family. So I decided to step down as general manager and just be an assistant manager. I had a set schedule. I worked really closely with my general manager. I said, hey, I want to make sure I'm home during the days, so then my husband would work, and we had a split schedule. We worked it all out. So I did that for 2 years. So I was in an assistant manager position. It was working well, and something inside of me just kind of was pulled out. Actually, that general manager ended up getting pregnant as well. So it was replaced with another general manager who did not know how to lift up the people. I'm not saying that he had to carry me, but he just made me feel not worthy, not good enough, really pushed me down after I had taken the 5 years to build myself up, because I'm someone who's introverted. I'm someone who's I'm not a leader. That's what I went in with, the 7 years ago. So it just became where I almost lost myself. So I was like, this is not what I want. This is not going to make me a good wife. This is not going to make me a good mom. I don't want to work here anymore. It's not fun. So it took me a lot to find a way to have another position that I could do without, interfering with our schedule that we had with our son. So I ended up finding online teaching. So transitioning from being a general manager, assistant manager, now I'm going to be an online teacher. No idea what I was doing. So now this was 3 years ago now. And it's a company called VIPKid. They are still around now. Everything had kind of shifted, and I'll talk about that in a second. So I did that on top of my assistant manager position. So I was working 60 to 70 hours a week, barely sleeping, as a mommy, as you call it. And it was okay because I could still work my assistant manager position at night. I could get a few hours of sleep with our son, because at the time he wasn't sleeping on his own. So I was actually sleeping with him in a larger bed. And So that was just the only time I could get sleep. And he was not a sleeper. He didn't become a sleeper until he was 2. He's now 4. So that was just the way I was able to sleep. So I did that for a while. And then I would only get a few hours of sleep. And then I would teach super early mornings because VIPKid was specific to China time. So I'd be waking up at like 4 in the morning after I just got home from at like midnight, 1 a.m. So I just get a few hours of sleep, teach my students. And then I would just be with my family all day and then go back to work and do it again and again. And I did that probably about 8 months. And then COVID hit. So now we're in 2020. And I just saw the value in it. I saw how scary the times were. I saw the value in my family, the value in myself. And I said, you know, I'm just going to wait it out a little bit longer. I'm going to pay off some more debt. And then I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do this thing and see if it works. I ended up resigning from my corporate America job in 2020. So I then just kind of did this online thing through VIPKid. And I did that for an entire year. And it was amazing. I was tired because I had to still make enough, you know, to be able to support my family and pay my part of the bills and all that stuff. So I ended up still working in the morning. So I would work from about 4 a.m. to sometimes 9 a.m. Pretty much Monday through Sunday, like every single day. I tried really hard to take off Sundays if I could, but it was a time where they wanted those teachers on the weekend. That was just their time. They weren't in school and they could take more classes. So it was really tough. I had to deal with a lot of mindset and like, how do I do this and be a mom, be a wife, and have the house? Because you were all in the same spot. You know, you had to clean it, you had to, you know, cook dinner, you know, you had to do the dishes, and it really took its toll on me. So on this channel, I just want to share some tips on how to juggle that all and how to go through it. So then after I did that for an entire year, I was home with our son for an entire year. I made it work. It was good. And then China's government made a rule that American teachers could no longer teach in China, you know, in a larger company. So this was now 2021. So I was like, I finally found where I fit. And then it just blew up, you know, and this was not something that we could see. It was been talked about, but it wasn't really something where we could plan for it. So I said, well, what am I going to do now? Because I loved the schedule. I basically was done teaching when our son woke up, and I spent all day with him. And at this point I had no second job. So this was just online teaching was all I did. And I do have a day in the life video of that. It was posted over a year ago. So if you want to check that out on my channel, I'll put it up in the cards here. So after China made that rule, I'm like, what am I going to do? I love this. I love the schedule. I loved everything about it. So I decided to go independent. I had no idea what I was doing. You can kind of see these videos in this channel where I was trying to help people get hired with VIPKid, with Palfish. There's some videos in there about that, but I'm like, I can't put my faith in a Chinese company. And VIPKid has come a long way in the last year, because this is now October 31st, 2022. They've come a long way in this last year, but I really tried to stick with them. I tried to open up some classes, and I just wasn't getting any bookings. I couldn't stay with them. So now I have this online business. I'm in charge of it. I have to try to figure out Chinese payment, how to take payment from overseas. I had to figure out curriculum. I'm like, what am I going to teach them? Like, because with VIPKid, it was an open it up and there it is. So I really wanted to create this channel to help you in your business. It doesn't mean you have to create a teaching business. I have so much knowledge with regular business, if you want to call it that, an umbrella of business, that I want to help you with your dream business. I'm saying your dream. So I want you to take a moment. I want you to close your eyes. Okay. I really want you to do this, please. So close your eyes and imagine yourself in your favorite place, whether it's in your own house or your favorite vacation area or somewhere you love to travel. But I want you to close your eyes and imagine yourself there. Then I want you to imagine that you have flexibility in your schedule. You might have some things going on that day, but you are in charge of your schedule. And you get to just enjoy that space that you're in. If your family is there with you, they are. If you're by yourself, that's great too, whichever you prefer. But you do not have to worry about checking your bank account. You do not have to worry about, are sales coming in? Am I going to be okay? Sales are coming to you. You're getting emails. Oh, I want this. I want this. Oh, I love your product. Oh my gosh, I love your services. Whatever it is that you do. Your email box is full of clients, of potential clients, of conversations you're about to have. How does it make you feel in your favorite place with your email blowing up with people that want to talk to you? And that's why I created this channel. I want you to build your dream business without overwhelm, because that's seriously what happens. An overwhelming mind and a complicated, everything you're doing with your mind and it's not in the right place, it does nothing. It finds ways to avoid. And I want to help you through that. So I'm so excited that you are here, and I hope sharing my story a little bit and how I got here and my journey kind of inspired you to share your own journey. So please tell me your background and what's your dream business, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for being here. Bye. So I ended up resigning from my corporate America job in August of 2020. Hello, my name is Andrea Perry, and I'm so glad that you're in my next video.